Welcome to Two Travel Dads Podcast. Here we share our favorite destinations, travel tips, ideas for saving money, and stories from our adventures. Be sure to check out our show notes at twotraveldads.com/podcast-episodes. Welcome back to another episode of Two Travel Dads Podcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Chris Taylor.
Anyways, today we are going to do some chit-chat about Disneyland, and then we have another episode coming up right after this all about Disney's California Adventure, because we just got back from both parks, and we have a lot to say.
We do. It was a blast.
It was a blast. I would say that this most recent trip was our best yet. The kids had fun. We had fun. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, I kind of just thought we should dig in, and let's start with the burning thing that I know I was really excited for, and I'm so excited to talk about, and that is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I figure we can just dive right into it, unless did you have a different plan of what you want to talk about first?
No, that's fine.
Cool. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was pretty impressive. The theming was great. I love that, shortly after, we were walking in, we were seeing droids and...
We saw Kylo Ren and stormtroopers immediately.
We did, which was really cool, and got to see a lot of the cruisers. And I think what was really awesome was actually seeing the Millennium Falcon, and shortly after just seeing Chewie and the kids being able to meet him and have a big hug with Chewie. I mean, it was just perfect.
It was awesome. And Elliot and I actually got to go and check out Galaxy's Edge in October, but the newest ride, Rise of the Resistance, wasn't open yet, so we didn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. So when Elliot and I were there, we only got to do Smuggler's Run, so that was pretty cool because
Where's Smuggler's Run?
So Smuggler's Run is the Millennium Falcon ride.
Got it.
Because Han Solo being a smuggler, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Smuggler's Run is the it to me it feels a lot like Flight of Passage at Pandora in Animal Kingdom at Disney World. Kind of that technology of just that really all-encompassing.
It was a complete immersive experience because the way that they the screens now, the way they leverage,
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Screens to really transport you to a different place. And of course, there's everything about making the ship move that makes you feel like you're diving and flying.
Ship with a P.
Yeah.
Sounded like you said shit.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Mm-mm. This isn't one of those Kmart commercials. Yeah, the way the ship moves. But I think what's different though in terms of Flight of Passage is those creatures that you're riding on. You feel them like breathing. The banshees, you feel them breathing. So I think that's like an element that's missing in that ride. Obviously, the ship,
it wouldn't make sense, but
ship doesn't breathe. But no, it's still pretty cool, and I think the screens add a lot. And
having jobs, I think, also does.
I was gonna say the jobs, yeah, definitely, because being a gunner, you have to sit, and I had to sit there and tap the buttons and try to shoot, some of the enemies and stuff in the ride.
And having the boys both be pilots, I think that really helped with their fear.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So Elliot, he's 5, and that was his first time going on it because he didn't want to do it with me last time. So we convinced him to go on it, knowing that, it was going to be all right.
Yes. And we had to play Pokemon, and FYI, there's Pokestops right there.
Oh my gosh, there's Pokestops all over Disneyland.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was huge. Giving him a special job that both made him a little bit distracted and made him feel important really was key to successfully doing Smuggler's Run with him. It was amazing. And
he loved it.
We got off of the ride and they both were just, oh my gosh, that was amazing. We love it. And then immediately following, we got to go and do Rise of the Resistance, which I feel like we shouldn't talk too deeply about what all that entails because it's such an experience. And I don't want to give away spoilers.
No, but I think that Google's there. So I mean, if
Google
you search, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find pictures. I think what's really amazing about it is that it's a multi-step experience, right? So meaning that you go into one ship, you go into another space, and I'm not gonna give it all away, and then you go off to like another ship. It's just the way that they've done it is really impressive. And there's this one moment where you're just like in awe.
Yeah. It's the best way that I could describe it would be the overall experience is an attraction, a ride, paired with interactive theater, paired with I don't know what else, with being in a movie set,
Yeah.
all of it together. It was overwhelming and amazing, and even with little people, um, gosh, they just loved it.
I
Elliot
will
was
say
just
Elliot was very scared and nervous
he
that
was.
that the Empire was gonna put him in prison.
Yeah, at one point he was a little bit shaky and not sure, and um, somebody from the First Order started questioning him, and all he could do was shake his head and say yes, and just like give up and just
Every
join.
secret.
Yeah, just join the First Order. It was hilarious, but it was amazing, and I would not have wanted it any other way. It was incredible, and they loved it.
And what else is there to do over there in Galaxy's Edge?
Galaxy's Edge has some really cool restaurants. It's got Oga's Cantina, which is like your Star Wars restaurant. It's exactly what you would hope to find on another planet.
We didn't check that out when we were there.
We didn't, no.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So, but last time we got to check it, me and Elliot got to peek at it, and it was awesome. So there's some interesting, different Star Wars themed like food. There's a lot of Star Wars themed shopping. We got to do another sort of thing where we got to work with the droids from the Droid Depot, where you can go and you can basically build your own droid. It's like Build-A-Bear.
But those things are awesome.
But yeah, you actually get to design your own robotic droid by mixing and matching different R2 and R4 and BB units together to take home your own droid. It's awesome. The kids were so sad we didn't bring one home. But whatever. Next time, maybe. So yeah, that was Galaxy's Edge. It was incredible. It looks like another world. It feels like another world. The show elements of it are remarkable beyond anything. Super thrilled, love it. I hope that they can come up with one more attraction to fit in there somewhere, somehow. I don't know, but it's great. So, and something else that I think is really cool about Galaxy's Edge is that the mountains and the landscape of the planet. Oh gosh, all of a sudden I spaced on what the actual planet of Galaxy's Edge is called. I'm going to look for that. But what is super cool is that when you are, say, in Frontierland and you're looking towards Galaxy's Edge, you can see the spires of the mountain peaks and of Batuu. That's the name of it, Batuu.
Oh, Batuu.
Yeah. You can see the spires of the mountain peaks in Batuu, and it somehow blends in with Frontierland, even though once you get there, clearly you're on another planet. It's amazing. Go Disney. Good job. Where do you want to chat about next? Should we hit on Critter Country?
Do you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Let's go counterclockwise.
All right.
So next up would be Critter Country.
Cool.
So in Critter Country, you've only got a couple attractions. You got Winnie the Pooh, which is cute. It's adorable.
It sure is.
If you went to Disneyland as a kid and you remember the Country Bear Jamboree, that is where the Winnie the Pooh ride is now. And inside the Winnie the Pooh ride, if you turn around about halfway through after you go through the crazy honey room, you can see the talking animal heads from the old Country Bear Jamboree. It's kind of cool. So yeah, that's a fun ride. Makes you a little bit nauseous.
Yeah, I mean you can see some heffalumps and woozles, so that's cool.
It's trippy. But no, Splash Mountain, that's the real big ticket of Critter Country. And
love Splash Mountain.
It's as kids get older, Disneyland just becomes more and more fun. I think that's what made this trip so much fun, is that the kids are now brave enough and tall enough to do everything. And there was actual excitement about going on Splash Mountain. I loved that. That made me so happy.
I know.
I have memories of that, like from going on it when I was a kid, the year it opened. And now I get to do that.
Lucky.
I know. Now we get to do that with our kids.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just might recommend, you never know what's going to happen on Splash Mountain. This last time we went, and it was at night, and completely I mean, I've never been so wet.
There's times when you ride Splash Mountain and you get off and you're completely dry.
Yeah.
Like you just went on a regular attraction. And this
time was torrential downpour.
This time clothing was purchased after Splash Mountain because We were so wet.
So yeah, it was crazy. So you just never know. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you never know.
But it's so much fun. I mean, the music is great. I love Brer Bear.
Watching the kids is great.
Yeah.
But moving on from that, one other thing I want to call out about Critter Country is every time we're in Disneyland, we end up eating at the Hungry Bear
I
restaurant.
was just gonna say they have it's a good spot.
It is a go-to.
There's a ton of space.
Yeah.
And that new mobile order pickup.
Oh my gosh. Mobile order, I think is.
Thanks, Starbucks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But mobile order in Disneyland through the Disneyland app it's a game changer for what the Disney experience is like, because you're already waiting in lots of different lines as you're doing different attractions and such. And you don't want to have to wait in line to pick up food too. And doing mobile order, and you can pay through it and everything, is so much easier and faster. And it's available at almost every quick service restaurant in the park.
Yeah.
And there's great vegetarian options as well, which I love.
Now, is that other place that other retail shop that has amazing treats there? Not sure what
Pooh
it's
Corner.
called. Pooh Corner. Is that the only place you can get tiger tails?
Yeah, I think so.
What are those things?
So a tiger tail.
Oh, tiger tail. Sorry.
Yeah, no, a tiger tail is a Hostess treat.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, a tiger tail.
Tiger tail.
A tiger tail is a marshmallow dipped in caramel, dipped in orange white chocolate ganache with chocolate stripes.
Got
And all that together either sounds really good to you or really gross.
It sounds so disgusting to me, but the kids and Bob love it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think orange and chocolate is the nastiest thing on the face of the earth. And for some reason, I totally dig Tigger Tails. I don't know. There's also a Cheshire Cat version, which I think actually tastes better than the Tigger Tail, as a different flavored ganache. But, it's not for everyone. It's a sugar high on a stick, and it's really messy. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, my tummy's not feeling so great. So, moving on. New Orleans Square. I think it's a super special spot. New Orleans Square is where you'll find the Haunted Mansion, which I think is best from September through first week of January when it's Haunted Mansion holiday. That's my favorite thing ever.
It's so cool seeing Jack Skellington and Zero.
Me and Elliot got to do it in October, and he was just absolutely blown out of the water by seeing Jack and Sally and Zero flying around. It was amazing. It was his favorite. So yeah, Haunted Mansion, pretty cool. Right now, so we're recording this in March of 2020. Right now, Haunted Mansion is under some renovations, and I'm very curious to go back and see what they're updating. I don't know if they're just cleaning it or if they're doing some big overhauls, but we shall see.
I don't know.
Other fun things in the New Orleans Square area is you can catch the little rafts out to, now it's not just Tom Sawyer Island is what it used to be called.
It's the Pirate's Lair, isn't it?
It is. It is the Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer Island. So there's some cool caves. If your kids aren't too scared, they are pretty cool. It's all themed after Pirates of the Caribbean. So I think it's fun. This year was not the year for our kids to enjoy that.
No, they just didn't like dark caves.
Dark caves. Who knew they could be so scary? I guess
But yet they'll go into the Oregon caves.
I know, yeah. They'll do real caves, but not fake caves. But that's their choice. Also in New Orleans Square is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates.
Which is great. What did you think of the updates to it? Did you notice all the things that they changed?
I did not notice everything, but I did notice the auction space was different.
I think
so
that's
that was
the biggest
cool.
thing that they changed.
Yeah. There's always small enhancements.
Yeah. So it used to be that there's this one scene in Pirates of the Caribbean, which if you've been on it, you probably know what we're talking about, where the auctioneer and the pirates were basically auctioning off women to, do that. So now that has changed, and instead of auctioning off the women for companionship, they're auctioning off goats and chickens and all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely a lot more appropriate and less whorish, but it's different. It's not as piratey as it used to be in terms of all that. But because thinking about like pirates and like all the skullduggery of being a pirate and wenches and stuff, you know what I mean? It's just not so wenchy. Never
I
mind.
don't. I guess I don't remember it being wenchy.
They were auctioning off women to be prostitutes.
No, I understand that part,
Okay.
but I don't feel like removing that makes it less piratey.
Oh, well, I felt like, no, just that scene in general wasn't as piratey as it was previously.
I love the woman pirate who's auctioning off the stuff. That was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
No, so the redhead is now a woman pirate. Yeah. So, okay. Anyways, it's not that I
I
didn't
guess
like
what
it.
I
I'm just
guess
saying
that's
it's
what I
just not.
noticed when I saw that update.
Yeah, it's just not as like trashy piratey as it used to be, which is good. So, anyways, moving on. Things are always changing and updating. Adventureland. I love Adventureland, and this year was a milestone year for us because we got to take the kids on Indiana Jones.
That was so cool. And we got so lucky because the ride had previously went down. So all of a sudden we looked and there was just a 20-minute wait.
We're
And
like,
like,
sweet.
yeah, we're like, we're going, kids.
And they didn't have any information about what it was. All we told them was that it was a Jeep ride. And then they kind of picked up that we were going through some sort of cool temple, and then we built it up that, hey, there's a movie inside, and we'll get to watch a little bit about it, and then we'll get on the Jeep and we'll check it out. And we made it all the way through.
No hesitation. Like,
However,
getting up to the ride.
I learned what Elliot's actual fear scream is.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, you're
I've,
so awesome.
I've never heard anything like it.
Can't even be reproduced. I mean, it was just this awesome, like, high pitched
Like
scream. It's
he's
hilarious.
a really funny kid, and he's 5, and he runs around, and he just screams, and he's loud because he's loud. But I've never heard the sound that he made on Indiana Jones. It was a scream that a cartoon character would make. So it was amazing, and the boys actually ended up loving it. But
Oh yeah.
oh my gosh, oh, it was great, good times. So lesson there is, just build it up as being a fun Jeep ride. And yeah, it's got a little mystery, but overall, super cool. And kids totally will go for it. So,
Yeah, they loved it.
Jungle Cruise. What do you think about Jungle Cruise? I mean, it's goofy.
Oh no, it's great. You have to go. But I will say this last time was like the first time I remember going on it and not enjoying it, and it's just because our tour guide was awful. It's
had
all
a
about the tour
dud.
guide you get, yeah. Because they create the experience with their hilarious jokes, and
The Jungle Cruise is kind of like the best stand-up comedy show you'll ever
oh
get.
my gosh, it's great because
it.
it's so old and it's so cheesy as you're going through, and it's the same stuff. Nothing about it's thrilling. It's all about your guide.
Yeah. So I'm not going to call out Roger's name. Oh well. Roger wasn't awesome. But
not
every other
awesome.
guide was great.
Yeah, because we went, the next day or later in the day.
I think we went at night or something.
Yeah, and that guy was awesome.
Oh yeah.
he was hilarious.
On it.
Yeah.
Which is great. So, redeeming qualities.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's also one of the best rides to be able to just do with anyone when you don't mind waiting in line, because sometimes line is 5 minutes and sometimes it's actually like 40 minutes, and it's such a quick moving experience that I never mind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, is there anything else really in Adventureland to
Totally.
what?
It's the show. You have to do the tiki room.
The tiki room.
And so anytime you need a break, you need to sit down,
You need air conditioning.
air conditioning, just go watch Jose in the tiki room in the Glee Club.
It is true. The tiki room is really fun.
And you can get a Dole Whip while you wait.
As I've gotten older, I like them less.
Oh, I'm sorry. You like those less and you like Tigger Tails more.
Yeah.
I would totally take a Dole Whip over a Tigger Tail any day.
Well,
And I was actually kind of sad that I didn't get a Dole Whip this last time.
you had the power to get one,
I sure did.
but
I didn't do it. But you guys got Tigger Tails.
that was payment for Elliot doing
You enjoyed it, though.
Rise of the Resistance, I think, or Splash Mountain.
I think it was Splash.
I don't know.
I'm
Somehow.
like, that's a far trip.
Well, no, but like that was part of the deal, was that he would get to pick out some sort of fancy
Okay.
treat.
Got it.
Anyways,
No, but Tiki Room, highly recommend it. It's so fun. You'll sing along.
again, it's cheesy like the Jungle
Oh, it's
Cruise.
totally cheesy, but I mean, it's been my mom told me about the Tiki Room, right? I mean, it's been around forever.
Yeah, I know.
Super cool.
It's fun, but and it's way different than the one in Disney World too. So, you didn't get to go on the one in Disney World, did you? You went with
Nope.
the kids, and yeah, it's different.
Okay.
So, good times. Frontierland is where we find ourselves next, and it's fun. there's not too much going on there except
Thunder
for Thunder
Mountain.
Mountain.
Thunder Mountain.
Yeah. Which is one of the kids' favorite rides. They loved it at Disney World, which I gotta say, Disney World Thunder Mountain, I think I like it more than Disneyland Thunder Mountain. It's one of the only things that I like more in Disney World than Disneyland. So it's a little bit longer of a ride. I feel like it's a little bit faster. It's way smoother than the one in Disneyland. But hey, the one in Disneyland is also awesome. And I would say it's worth waiting up to 40 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, more than 40 minutes? Maybe not, but definitely waiting up to 40 minutes. Oh, that's how we should have been doing this. How long would you wait for each ride? That's how we should have formatted this. We'll do that for our California Adventure podcast.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, that is Thunder Mountain. It is just, it's a runaway mine train, right? So it's going to take you through, again, dark caves. And, it's fun. I love it. Fantasyland. Feel like this last trip was the one that we spent the least amount of time there that we've ever done. So we had so much other stuff to do that we just didn't even hang out there at all. But
but we got to do a couple of our favorites, right? So Casey Jr., which is awesome.
It's just the Dumbo circus train that just rides you around.
Exactly what it is, right? But you get to see everything in Storybook in the Storybook ride too at the same time, and there's great music on the fun train.
It is some of the best sightseeing that you'll get in Disneyland.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Especially now there's not the Gondola Sky Ride. It's the best way that you can get kind of like a good view of what's happening in Fantasyland.
Yeah, and then we got to do the teacups. So the teacups were great.
Or as Elliot calls them, the teapots.
The teapots, is that what he calls them? That'd be
Yeah.
great if they had a teapot version.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? And then not a ride, but we had really good breakfast in that Pinocchio restaurant.
It's no longer Pinocchio.
Well, what is
because
it?
you didn't really hang out in there, did you?
Well, I hung right outside after you got breakfast.
It's a Beauty and the Beast themed restaurant.
Oh, is it
now.
really?
Yeah. So
Is that why I got a croissant?
that is why you got a croissant. You didn't. I love that you didn't realize this. Yeah. No, it totally is. So
No.
So now instead of it being Pinocchio's, it's the Red Rose Tavern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit French. I mean, yeah, croissant and gravy, stuff like that. But no, they redid it inside, and now it's got like Gaston's portrait. It's got the stained glass windows from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know because I ate outside.
Yeah, but also much better menu than it used to have too.
Yeah, I don't remember having breakfast there before, but I remember this breakfast was great because we had, a nice vegetarian scramble with potatoes, and it had some type of, I don't want to say
Like
a
country
bechamel
gravy.
sauce, but some type of country gravy
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
and a croissant. It was really good.
And the kids had enormous pancakes, which I was not expecting that.
They were huge Mickey pancakes.
Huge Mickey pancakes. But yeah, no, that's good. Good to call that out.
But Fantasyland in general is a lot of fun. I mean, we've spent a lot of time there before in the past. I think this time it was more that the kids wanted to do some of the bigger kid rides.
They're growing up.
Right. So even though they did want to do Pan, but we didn't want to wait.
Man, Peter Pan always has such a long line.
Long line.
I don't understand.
Right? And
It's
then-
cool, but I mean,
And I think they actually probably still would have been scared of Snow White.
oh yeah, I was scared of
It's
Snow White
creepy.
until I was in my 20s.
Right. And I know they want to do Matterhorn, but that also had a long line too. But Matterhorn's fun, but gosh, you gotta.
Man, it's rough on your neck.
Yeah, it's so rough. It's a rough ride.
As we age, we discovered that the Matterhorn it requires physical therapy afterwards.
Yeah, you just gotta brace yourself.
But you know what though? The Matterhorn was the first round-railed roller coaster in the world.
Yeah, my mom loved it as a kid. I remember telling me about it.
Yeah. And did you know that also it is not a building, or not in like a theme park attraction, like per building code? It's actually a recreational facility.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's got the little basketball court up on the top part of it, is because they didn't get a permit to build an attraction. It was either that height or there was some sort of specific thing about it. So they built it out with a little basketball court on it so that it could be considered a recreational facility instead.
Had no idea.
Yep. Interesting.
Go
The more
shoot
you
some
know.
hoops with Yeti.
And then, you know what, since we're talking about Fantasyland stuff, one of the reasons that we were just down in Disneyland was for the premiere of a new parade called Magic Happens, which I'm bummed you missed it because you love Disney parades. And this one, I will say, was one of the best. It was awesome. The music was really cool and fun. The kids we're dancing because, well, clearly we have some dancers. But no, the floats were really, really remarkable. So if you can get to Disneyland while Magic Happens is still going, I recommend it. It's worth scoping out a good spot to sit. We sat right across from Small World and loved it. Great viewpoint, super fun. Moving on from Fantasyland though, Tomorrowland.
Oh, you're skipping Toontown, or how's that working?
So Oliver's never been. You know what? I've told Oliver he's been on all the rides in Disneyland. He hasn't. Oliver's never been in Toontown.
Never been. I think we went when we were.
Oh, when he was like
when he
18
was like
months.
little in Toontown, but we haven't been there recently with them at all. And I don't think Elliot's ever been.
No, I took Elliot in October, and he thought it was weird.
Because I remember doing because didn't we get pictures in Mickey's house
with Oliver when he was like tiny?
Really, that's the only time.
Yeah.
And then that's the only time that we spent in Donald Duck's boat.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I think they'd really love Roger Rabbit's ride.
I think they would now. Yeah, totally. Oh, gosh, why didn't we do that this week?
It's out of the way.
I guess so.
Well, we went right from Fantasyland conveniently right to Tomorrowland because Nemo's right there.
Yeah.
And Nemo had some good short wait times this time.
Yeah, it's true. So,
and it's a great ride.
Having been to Disneyland so many times, we've kind of figured out like where we're willing to wait. And Nemo's another one of those ones where if it's up to a half an hour, yeah, we'll wait for it. More than a half an hour, totally not waiting at all. But it's really cool. And you know what? It is way better than the Nemo at Epcot in Disney World. Way better. So this one is actually in a submarine. You actually go underwater, and I think the effects are amazing. The story's fun. It's a winner. And then, gosh, something I was really jealous of on this last trip. You got to take Oliver on Space Mountain.
I was so happy to do that. It's my favorite ride, and he was so excited. He did tell me he was getting a little nervous because he heard that it was going to be in dark, with fast turn or sudden drops, right, in fast turns. And
he really listens to the warnings.
Oh, and he reads everything too. And I had to let him know. I was like, yes, it's dark. You're in space, but there's still light in there, so you see the stars and planets. And the drops aren't drops. And I showed him with my hand. They go, whoop, and you just kind of like a fast slide. And so he's like, okay. But he also really did enjoy my favorite part, which is as you're, going up at the beginning, and then the tunnel starts to turn, and you feel like you're turning. Oh my gosh, he's like, whoa! I was like, isn't this cool?
I hated that part.
But yeah, no, he really loved the ride.
Good times.
But what I will say is, we didn't have a fast pass. We were in the standard line, and we were waiting, and started kind of at the beginning, and we're in line all the way through just to where you're getting inside Space Mountain. He's like, okay, I really have to pee now. And I'm like, oh. But thankfully, we found this exit. I told the cast member, hey, this is the situation. Can we just come back up to this point? And he's like, just go to the bathroom, tell the guys at the Fast Pass line that I said you can come back through and you'll just go through Fast Pass. So that was awesome.
I love it when cast members do something cool like that. It makes it so much easier, and gosh.
Well, I'm like, I can't let him go to the bathroom by himself. Look at him.
Yeah, no, seriously. Good times. Tomorrowland is a really cool place. I think it's also a great place just to kind of chill. We saw Boba Fett walking around from Star Wars this time. You've also got the Star Wars launch bay, which we didn't take the kids in there, and I think they would have loved it because you've got all kinds of Star Wars there's some memorabilia stuff. You can meet some different characters. I think it's pretty awesome, and I think especially having just done like Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run, the boys would have been thrilled if we would have actually gone in. We also didn't do Star Tours, but they don't like that ride.
No, because we did Smuggler's Run.
Yeah. Star Tours is awesome. I still enjoy it, but Smuggler's Run I think is better. It's true. So,
and was Astro Blasters.
Oh, Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great ride. I haven't done it in a while though. We didn't do it with the kids, but that's fun. And they still love the rocket ride. What's the name of it? I know you don't
the
like
Astro Orbiter.
Astro Orbiter.
Yeah. I don't do spinning things. It's just bad. Ugh, not good. But no, Astro Blasters is pretty cool. If you like Toy Story Midway Mania over in California Adventure or Hollywood Studios, Astro Blasters is totally for you because you're fighting Zurg and there's Buzz Lightyear, and it is really cool. But yeah, so that wraps up everything as far as attractions go within Disneyland. I did want to hit real quick on, I talked about the parade for a sec, but the two shows that you can always, maybe not always because they're weather dependent, but that you can really count on in Disneyland are going to be Fantasmic and the fireworks display, which changes rather frequently. So the best fireworks display ever was Remember Dreams Come True. That's what it's called. And it basically took you through all the different attractions in the park via fireworks and projections on the castle. And it was awesome with great music. Now it's doing this really cool new thing called Mickey's Mix Magic. And again, we're recording this in March of 2020, which I thought that was awesome. The way they're doing it now is they project on the castle and all around, all the way down Main Street on all the building facades. We got to see it from over in the New Orleans Square area. They were projecting just everywhere. So you're getting the fireworks in the sky, you're getting the music, and then you're basically getting like Mickey Mouse Party Club lights everywhere. And it's awesome. So if you get the chance to check that out, definitely do it. And then Fantasmic. What do you think of the new Fantasmic, the new version of it?
It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that they, with all the new technology that they have to really blast displays, like using, was that like LED or like super high performing projection, is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I think what's important if you want to enjoy Fantasmic is making sure you have a really good viewpoint versus being stuck in some areas where you're a little obstructed or off angle. But I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I like that they brought in all the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff now instead of doing Peter Pan on the pirate ship.
That was surprising.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
And then they also removed Snow White from the little floats that go around, and they brought in Rapunzel and Flynn Rider from Tangled, and did some cool stuff with that. And the fireworks were also much more grand within Fantasmic than they used to be.
Yeah, they did. Well, I don't even remember many fireworks before.
Yeah. There was fireworks, especially when Mickey's like that
part, yeah, but not like the cool backdrop fireworks.
Yeah, and the new dragon was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The new dragon was awesome. So
yeah, the kids loved it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth scouting out a good spot to sit. I think that if you can get something in the River Belle Terrace area, that's where you're going to get the most head-on view that is going to give you the best shot.
Yeah.
So
I will say though, if I had to choose between the fireworks show and Fantasmic, all about the fireworks show.
I also would pick the fireworks show being positioned directly in front of the castle over Fantasmic. But if you can do both, do both.
Oh, for sure.
So, well, that wraps up everything that we wanted to chat about with Disneyland. Stay tuned or download the next episode, because what we've got coming up next is all about California Adventure and Pixar Pier, and a little info about what else is coming. So that's it. I guess we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Two Travel Dads podcast is written by Rob and Chris Taylor and produced by Rob Taylor in Suquamish, Washington. If you would like to be on Two Travel Dads podcast or sponsor it, please visit us at twotraveldads.com/work.